Okay, so here's my video about changing the oil on my Jeep, how easy it is. So it's a Jeep 3.6 liter 2012, and you can see right here. So simply you take off this cover here. This usually snaps off. I've already snapped it off once, so it's easier to get off. You take this off here. Then you can see right here, down here on this piece, you'll need to remove this. This is the top of the oil filter housing, and take that piece off. So what you're using is a 24mm wrench. Put it right there on that, like so. And it's nice to have the open-end wrench so you can see if you're tightening it too much, because this is just made out of plastic right here, and you don't want to damage that piece. So the next step that I do, not required by any means, but it just helps the whole process. You go ahead and remove the oil cap off. Helps the oil drain a little bit. And over here on this side, you can remove the dipstick. You can see there, kind of dark, needs changed. Change light came on, so I'm doing it. Now I'm down below the engine, underneath the Jeep. It's nice I didn't have to jack it up or anything. I'm just crawling underneath it. So there's the oil drain plug right there in the oil pan. You can see steering stabilizers up there, front diff, and the pan right there. And got a 13mm wrench to put on that also. It's a 13. Might be different sizes. You ever changed the drain plug before or something. So, but 13 gets it done. And I got my pan back here. Catch all my oil. Oh, sorry for the excessive noise. I'm laying on a tarp just to working on the grass here. Just makes it a little easier. Okay, back to the top again. And so I'm loosed up this. It takes a lot of turns to get this loose. It has a lot of threads on it. Let's see here. You get this out. There's the old filter. Don't lose that little piece in the middle there. It's going to be dripping everywhere too. So I got a nice little shop towel here. Doesn't leak absolutely everywhere. And the hard part is, or I guess it's pretty easy, but you want to be really careful with it, is you take the filter and just grab it and then pull it apart. Try to do it here. I got my phone propped up here. You can see what I'm looking at. Just kind of give it a little tug. There we go. And that little guy clips into there, into the cap. There's also a little O-ring right here. Don't forget to change this little O-ring. It comes with the new filter. So then there's the filter in the background, the Wix filter that's needed for it. Then when you go to seat it back on, when you push it back in, make sure it clips all the way in place. You don't want to loose right around in there. So yeah, just take that off. Okay, next you get a little screwdriver and you work this O-ring off of here. Kind of hard to get off. Get a little small screwdriver, kind of work it around and get off this O-ring. You can see that. Gotta be careful of the threads though. You don't want to bust them up or hurt the threads. They're all just plastic. There's the old one. And I got the new O-ring. Right there's the brand new one. And it's kind of nice to leave a little bit of oil on this when you're doing it. You don't want to wipe it completely clean, and because you need a little bit of oil in this O-ring just to make sure that it gets some lube and doesn't bind up on anything. There you go. Hopefully you can see that's kind of shiny. It's got a little oil on it. Not a lot, just some. Just put it back on here. There you go. So there's the new O-ring on there, filter. Line this guy up. Hear it snap into place. You can tell if that's good. Line this up. And just do 2 fingers for a while. Make sure the threads start catching. Then you can finish tightening it up with the wrench to seat the O-ring. Okay, and as I was replacing the oil filter, I let it drain. And then this is the drain plug that I removed out of there. Threads look all good and everything else. It has a built-in little rubber washer there to keep it from leaking. So went to the part store, bought one of these nice washers. It's got rubber in the center, metal on the outside, and then that'll go right there. And that'll keep that from leaking, so that way it won't leak. And it's always important to change this little tiny piece. So, alright, then I'll put that back in, and then fill her up with oil, check everything, and we're good. Then I'm putting in the Castrol oil. It's Castrol Edge Synthetic 5W30, and that's what it calls for on the cap. And just as a reminder, you could always look at the cap. 5W30 right there. That's what that is right there. 530. Leaving the cap off also helps to remind you to add the oil. And same with the dipstick, having the dipstick out on the bumper or in a safe place. Then you know you need to check it before you start it again. One last step. Changing the light. It says oil change required. Comes up when you first start up the vehicle. There it is. Okay, so to get rid of that, I have to turn the vehicle to the on position. Press the accelerator 3 times real slowly. 1, 2, 3. Turn back off the key. Now you can go ahead and start it again. and it shouldn't come on if you did it correctly. Perfect. Thanks again for watching my video.